this is what's interesting. When he reaches over, tries to grab his bumper. Welcome back to the Stahl Racing vlog, guys. Out here for Grand National number 8. Out here Friday morning. It's early, and the event is massive. Like over 620 entries, I think. It's crazy big. It gets bigger each year. So I'm racing in Masters, and Dad is racing in Legends.
Of the house you never built, concealing insecurities with casual replies. Disregard the wreckage till it showers you in guilt, and breathing the debris that you find. I can't take time if your hands stay tied. I can't take time if your hands. All I saw was street lights in the sky, off of 95, hit the power line. My crimes rectified, better see you try.
Today we're gonna have qualifying and one heat race each. Kind of unique this year, they're bringing in some lights, so some of the racing is going to be under the lights. Have we practiced for that? Nope. Jumping right into the deep end. So it's always fun out here, guys. It's always interesting, so stick around and let's see what happens.
Well, good morning, and this is one of my favorite morning walks every year. We are here at the CKNA Grand Nationals 8, and it is an absolute spectacle. I mean, you just look around and we have got people and campers and go-karts everywhere. That doesn't do it justice, but it is quite the event. This is the biggest one so far, and just terrific. And I was walking yesterday coming back from the pit, and I've got one of these in my family, and I saw a little girl had a Taylor Swift shirt on, and I thought, for the go-karting community, this is kind of our Taylor Swift concert. Huge deal. So with that said, we are here at the Taylor Swift concert of go-kart tracks, the absolute best, the most beautiful in the country, Newcastle Motorsports Park.
The morning walk with Dad.
Before I get going I want to thank Thomas Batt he's from New Zealand. His second year in a row he's come to race here, and he brought me a Cuban cigar. So I don't know whether it went from Cuba to New Zealand or whether he picked it up from New Zealand in transit, but that's beyond what I usually smoke cigar-wise. So real special treat, thanks to Thomas, real good guy. And that's just kind of one of the things that we have fun doing here. You know, you meet some new people, you see the old people, and you know, comparing it to a Taylor Swift concert, there's a lot of the excitement, but there's a little more tension, right? Because everybody wants to get out there and do well. Close racing, there's, you know, in the back of your mind, some things could go wrong, and I guess it just, all those things put together make for a great event. And I think to have a great event, you have to have not only the exhilaration, but you have to have the disappointment. And I'm hoping we get the exhilaration this weekend, but you know, if it's the disappointment, it's because it's a great event and we didn't do as well as we could, and I guess that'll just be part of it. So looking forward to a crazy 3 days here.
Well, it's time to talk about qualifying. I'm gonna keep this short. Classic Kacy, 21st. I went out, I was 7/10 faster in the morning practice. 7/10. I don't know. When I left the pits, the guy in front of me just dusted me. Like, my car just didn't spool up, and I think it might have been the clutch slipping. So I've cleaned that out. Just disappointed with that though, guys. But unfortunately, it's par for the course. I just never do well with qualifying. So 21st, got 3 heat races to make it up. I know the kart's fast. I just got to stay clean and, you know, try to pick up a few spots here and there and move forward. All right, heat race 1, starting 21st. I was disappointed in that. Could have been a lot worse, but I knew I had more pace. But I'm starting behind JD, and you can see the tram lines here. Everyone's within them right now, but they extended them out, and they went really deep into the corner. And if you went 2 wheels over, you got a 2-spot penalty. 4 was 4-spot penalty. So I was very conscientious of that. Kind of on the inside line, I think you had a little bit of a disadvantage, honestly. But that was their decision, CKNA. So here, right behind JD, I looked to the inside, but I thought better of making it 3 wide there. That would not end well for anybody. So tuck back in line, and gonna kind of peek a little bit to the outside, but give way, and just kind of try to push JD here around Tim here in the 655. It was a lot of fun racing around those 2 guys. There's a little bit of a camera issue that happens in this race. Not a little bit, a lot of bit of a camera issue. It cuts off maybe not even halfway through the race. And I struggled with that issue for the whole weekend. So here you can see Tim makes a move on JD, kind of gets into JD there, gives me the spot. So I move up, fight Tim a little bit, but he ends up staying in front of me. So coming out of the Monza here, pushing Tim, he's going to make another move to the inside. So I kind of set it up, go wide, and get a little bit of a better run, and able to push him down the inside of the long straight here, past 37 of Rob Howden, and just moving forward. It's feeling pretty good, but you're going to see a little misjudgment on my part coming here into turn 2. Tim goes wide, I don't, but I misjudge my bumper, and as he comes over, he hits me. All my fault. I lose 6, 7, I think it's 7 spots here. And that was a real bummer, purely because I put my kart in the wrong place. So lost all the forward progress I had made going into this next couple corners. We're still fighting it out here. And then right here, he's going to try to pinch me, but I have enough that I'm able to force my way to the inside and pick up that spot and, you know, hold on to that. So now I'm just marching forward again, just trying to do some damage control at this point. This is getting close to where my camera dies, so I'm only going to get one more move here on camera. Come up to the 9 here, Ron, go to the inside. I'm going to end up finishing 25th in this race. Could have been a lot worse, but it was disappointing because I knew there was a lot more pace there, so I've got to show it in the next 2 heat races.
We don't have our usual spot. We're actually sleeping in the garage, and we've been adopted here by Todd Davis, and we're sharing a pit spot with him. Really appreciate Todd's hospitality. Couldn't be greater host, and we were sharing it with Donnie and having a really good time.
A little tip of something we like to do when we're getting close to going on track. I like to push it out, the car out into the sun, okay? And we do that to heat these tires up, let them get hot, because it's going to get hot up on the grid. If you just take it from the shade to the grid, the tire pressure is going to go up. So I like to bring it out here, get the tires hot, and then set the tire pressure after it's been baking for a while. The sun has gone down. It is time to do some night racing. Well, time for the old man to do some night racing. So, Dad, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts right now?
There's a lot of thoughts. I'm not... there's a bunch of old guys here. I hope they see better than I do.
There you have it.
Here we are, getting ready to head to green in heat 1 of the Grands. Starting 32 out of 55. Did not qualify well. Just, you know, all day on Friday, I just didn't feel like the kart was hooked up. In fact, you could probably say that about the whole weekend. Some people I usually run with, I wasn't able to, but here you can see we get off to a start, and inside line got a little bit better run, and I probably should have ducked in a couple times right there in front of the 806, and I didn't do it. Going to see a lot of the 806 in the rest of this video. Super nice guy. But kind of got a little bit squirrely there coming out of 5 and had 2 karts get around me. That's probably just me being a little too conservative on the start. But coming up here, running behind Dan and Brent, and I could see this one coming. We had picked up some speed and had pulled in on this group in front of us, and I'd been following them, and it really felt like I had them covered. But Brent was trying to make a move, looked like just side potted Dan a little bit. I know that's not Brent's purpose, so unfortunate racing accident. And here I pull in on the 806. A couple times I tried to make moves. Really felt like at various parts of the track was able to cover him, and other parts not as strong. Like right here you see him pull away. Just had a bad Monza section there. You know, at one point I think right here I had tried to make a move earlier to get by him and kind of had the door closed, and so was never able to get back to him and finished 27th. Not great, but not a terrible start. In past videos at national races, I have made it plain that I don't ever win a drawing. I've been in I don't know how many of these things and never win a drawing, and things changed. I actually won a drawing and I won a kart chain. Pretty cool. Maybe my luck's changing.
Saturday morning out here. I'm doing a little bit of a track walk. Just checking it out. I just love coming to this event. Just all the people. It's so much fun. I've sucked. But it's still so much fun. I'm pulling out hopefully a secret weapon for today. Finley, my little boy, picked out some socks for me a couple months ago for me to go fast, and I tucked them away in my bag for a rainy day. And you know what? It's dry as a bone, but it's a rainy day today. I need the pace. So pulling out Finley's socks, and I hope I do them justice. But man, it's just another great, beautiful day weather-wise. Couldn't ask for anything better. We've got 2 heat races today. I'm not sure exactly how this video is going to split up. But yeah, 2 heat races today and the final tomorrow. So let's try to turn things around a little bit. So here we are for heat 2. Glad to be back in the daylight for this start. Starting behind a fellow Newcastle racer, Jeff Danoon, and really one of the interesting things here was where they started us, and you could see it's really so late with those lanes, the way they extended them out. A lot of lane penalties, and I think if you watched that on Jeff, he did not get a penalty, but you could see how close he was just anticipating the start, because those tram lines ran very late into the start. Was able to get by Jeff here, and right behind Rob Howden, and kind of felt like things were going to go a little bit better. I think the morning warm-up had been good for me, and just kind of trying to sort things out a little bit, hoping to make up a few positions after finishing 27th, just slowly move my way up. And you know, heading in here to the turn, Jeff gets into me, and down the bank I go, and that's pretty much it. You know, interestingly enough, I'm down a hill here, have to get out and push myself up, but the throttle cable was stuck on something, so this was the easiest uphill push I think I've ever had. And so actually what I had to worry about here was getting back in to make sure that I could undo the throttle cable. At first punched it and it went right back in, but you know, just kind of other than the carnage on a 7th lap race, and I'm off, and obviously a little disappointed there, as you can see me shaking my head. So a lot of lonely laps here in heat 2.
trying to just, complete it out, finish the race. You start to see some karts in front of me, and here's somebody that had some trouble, and that was really the only type of competition I had. So I finished 46th, start to do the math on the 27th and a 46th, and qualifying 32nd, and going into heat 3, I really need something good to happen.
Dad's getting ready to go race, and I pulled the old futon out here, so we've got the watching couch here. Not a bad view.
Heading into heat 3. Heat 1 not bad, but 27th disaster in heat number 2 has me starting way toward the back, combined with a qualifying effort that wasn't great. I knew the final start wasn't going to be great, but here we go. Going to have some fun anyway in heat 3, and kind of don't get a great start here. I'd like to have had a little more momentum right there and maybe made a move. Didn't have it and was not able to pull in. Heading down to number 5, I'm going to take a look on the inside and kind of get a little move there that keeps me from doing it. Fair move, not complaining. Caused me to hold off on, or cost me some momentum. So heading into turn there, make a move, and right here I think the exciting thing for me was you can see a long line of karts and have a chance to make some moves, and right here is kind of just typical of the way the whole week went. I had a run on the inside and end up because of that, lost 3 spots there. Evidently must have cost myself with the angle I took on the exit from the Monza. But right there, see a kart spin, lifted just a little bit, cost me a position. That's probably, I don't know. That's probably a pass under the yellow. But some of the things, avoidable contact, and that were probably, if you'd pull some of the drivers, handled rather inconsistently. It's a tough job. I know they did their best. I'm not complaining, just kind of passing on what some of the drivers had stated. I know there were a lot of tramline penalties. It's a competitive weekend, so that's what you run into here. But back to the race, just trying to make up some spots here and able to make a move. I don't know what that was that went flopping on the track, but it looked like maybe a camera or something came off. But I'm able to make up some spots here and there, moving up fairly decent to improve my look for the final. I'm able to get side by side here. I think at this point I just was we were going on the inside there, and it would have been too wide maybe if he hadn't lifted. A little frustration at that point, but running here with a couple of karts, and just this is an example here on this 70 hairpin. Gets a little squirrely, and I'm on the outside, and just this type of thing, happened a lot. Seemingly drove myself out of an opportunity there by just getting too impatient, driving wide. And here we are, we're heading into the green turn, and this is just boom. Couldn't keep it low enough, or jammed the brakes too hard, and just kind of, as too typical, all the work was gone. Now back at the rear end again. All those karts I'd passed are by me, and this is now there goes Kevin. Getting followed Kevin for a little bit, but he's a much better driver in traffic than I am. He's able to make a couple moves here, but at this point in time, just not going the way you would want things to go in a national race. I was glad there was no LCQ, or I'd have been there. That's just all there was to it. And even here had been racing the 875 a little bit, and he's able to make a move. He and Kevin had run together, and you know, really just not able to get anything here, get a run down the straightaway, trying to get an extra position, but not able to happen. So more of the same, just didn't go my way. Finished 48th.
Now we're rolling into the afternoon session. So the morning session is what Dad was doing. He did 2 heat races, and now getting ready to start the afternoon, which has me racing twice. And I'm gonna walk back to Mark Steele's tent. Honestly, it's like a compound. This thing could hold like it's like almost like a circus. In fact, it's a circus tent. It's crazy. But I'm gonna walk back there, see if I can find Mark and pick his brain on a couple things to try in the warm up. And it's just great, man. This dude just has such great advice. So see if I can find him and get some advice. And I'll probably try to show you guys his tent, because I mean, it is impressive. We have arrived at the Steele compound. You guys see this thing? I don't even know if the GoPro is going to do it justice. It's massive. He says they got like 34 carts under here. So, I'll show you guys what's up. Well, I found the man. The issue I was having is in some corners, the rear is just sliding out on me a little bit. So, super simple change. You just said widen it out, 1/4 inch each side. So that's what Ben's gonna do for me here. I'm busy. Yeah, so I've got to warm up and then I jump right into racing. So we got to do this quick. I just came in from that warm up after making the rear change, widened it 1/2 inch total, and definitely helped with that rear stability. And I think I just have too much turn in the front. So right now I'm running 2 spacers. I'm gonna take one of these little baby spacers out and run 1.5 spacers, and that's the only change I'm gonna make for the next heat race. All right, I'm actually starting 24th in heat race 2. I got an extra spot from some kind of penalty in front of me. So starting 11th, you can see all the accordion that's happening, bumping rear bumpers all the time. And so we're off, got the green flag, and this start is definitely more hectic than the last one. Got karts off track, we got 3 wide, we're all duking it out right here, and I'm gonna poke to the inside here on Tim, but he has a nice run from the outside, and he's gonna be able to carry that and make a move. So I'm just in spectator mode right now. There's a lot going on in front of me, so just trying to look for my spots when I can. And I think one opens up right here on the 69, but then everything checks up in front of me, so it kind of kills my momentum as I hit the 11. And then you'll see the 24 here. He got shuffled around, and he's going to take a look here on the 69, but not do it. But that hurts his exit here at a green corner. So I'm going to set him up for the scoreboard here. And I just committed late on the brakes, and it stuck. Was able to pick up that spot. And you can see still lots of shuffling up here, lots of fighting. And the 601 loses momentum. I should have followed the 69 there. I just thought that hole would close up, but right here, the 601, I thought he saw me and just kept coming over. That's why I threw my hand up. I don't know if he actually did. Heat of the moment, and even look at this video, looked like I was pretty much there, and he just kept going at that point. I could be wrong about that, and either way, it's not really a big deal. Come up across the 22 here, which is Hoodie, a local guy. He's going to kind of lose his momentum, so I'm going to make a similar move, but I'm not as far alongside, and Hoodie didn't know I was there. Like, he waved his hand, but that was my fault. Lost a spot because of it. Slot back in behind Hoodie here, but in all of that, the 000 came out of what seemed like nowhere. It was flying down that straightaway. He had a killer run, and I'm on the inside, just didn't get a good exit. We kind of get into each other. I didn't really leave him quite enough room, so he had to come back on track, and I got into him a little bit, but we sorted it out. But that fighting created a pretty good sized gap to the pack in front of us that we needed to make up, and I was feeling really confident, so I wanted to be the one to lead, make a move on him here, kind of hooked his bumper there. That's what I'm going to give him the hand wave for. It looked insincere, but I really did mean it. Going into the 70 hairpin, I just don't have a good exit, and the 000 has a really good exit. And honestly, like, I mean, he was a rocket ship out of that corner. He was fast everywhere, but that was his corner. And he clears me here, so I fall back in line. And the kart was feeling so good with those changes after I talked with Mark. The kart was probably the best I've ever felt on Vega tires. The balance was perfect. And for the first time ever, I was able to set purple lap in a race at Grand Nationals. So that was a pretty good feeling. Meant nothing. I got no extra points, no trophy. But it did feel good. So right here, I'm going to try to set Hoodie up down the straightaway. I knew I had a little less gear than he did, maybe half a tooth or so. So I'm going to use his draft, then come alongside him, and able to move up into that next position. Coming here into the Monza, you can see the 000 right in front of me. But he's going to get a little off track, lose his momentum. I popped to the outside. He saw I was there, gave me room, and I'm able to move up into the next spot. And like I said, this kart was feeling good. I was feeling very confident with it, able to catch the pack in front of us. Me and that 000 worked pretty good together. And then right here, the 16, he was geared at least a full tooth higher, maybe more. So I really just pulled in on him down that straightaway with my lower gear. And this is the white flag lap. We're coming up to the section where my lower gear ratio is going to not be of help. And 16, where I just passed on the straightaway, is going to be able to use that higher ratio of his, throw it into the inside. So I know I really need to be looking to make my move on the straightaway. So I'm just trying to stay close. And it felt good. Like, I knew the kart was good because I was able to roll enough speed, even with my lower gear, to stay with these people, except out of that corner. That Monza is where I would notice the biggest hindrance from my lower gear choice, but typically I would be able to make it up down this straightaway, and that's what I hope to do here on the 16. Use his draft, pop to the inside, and hope that I can outgear him to the finish line, and I do. So I finished 17th. It was a good race. Heat race 2 is over, guys, and I'm a happy boy right now. It's not often I can say this at Grands, but you see that little purple bunny next to my name? Fast lap in that race.
You were the fastest 206 racer above the age of 35 in the world.
At like 5:12 p.m.
ago, yeah. I tell you what, you're the best in the world at something. Good job.
Yep, in that snapshot. No, but I mean, I told you guys about the changes that I made.
Ben would have been just a little bit quicker.
Oh, yeah,
I'm probably a tenth lower than he is right there. He's lucky I'm not 35.
So the changes I made were money. I mean, that kart was perfectly balanced. Made it easy to do my thing. So next up is a race that's almost at night. It's close.
So hold on, especially if you're watching this, really take note of like the timestamp in the video of how happy he is now, and like 5 minutes now video time.
Yeah. It can change real quick on this vlog, depending on the next race.
How you feeling, Ted?
Feeling great.
Well, you got your cart covered up. You got the secrets for tomorrow already for the final?
Well, I tell you, not much luck today. This is a New Zealand interview.
Yeah.
And I can't understand.
We'll dub it in so they can understand. We'll translate it.
Cheer my bro.
What?
Cheer my bro.
See, there we go. I'll Google that, whatever that means.
You have video cameras in New Zealand?
Well, they're on the other side.
They're on the other
And it's
side?
more like that.
All right, heat race 3 under the lights, starting 17th. I've been making some pretty good progress. I was happy with how it was going. Now, I will admit, in the night race, I was a little more cautious because I did not want to throw away a good result. And so here we are in the tram lines. You can see the accordions happening. I missed time a little bit, but you can see. So I'm on the inside. I'm alongside the outside people here. And with as deep as you go in, you just can't get out wide to carry the momentum. So I lost 2 spots because of that. So that was my gripe with the tram lines there. I just not a big fan of it personally. So I go around the inside of Hoodie, but we're gonna look back. He's actually still there. I didn't know he was still there. He had a lot of trust in me here. He just sent it on the outside, and you know, really made it stick. Used every inch of track, so good for him. Got that spot. So I'm trying to fall in line here, and the cart was pretty good, but I did miss it a little bit on setup. And right here you're going to see Hoodie. He has a little bit of a moment that costs me to check up, and then the 4 is going to be able to take a look. So I'm going to have to cede that spot to 4. But the cart was solid. I missed the tire pressure. I went too high, expecting less grip at night, and that's my inexperience with the Vega tires. But you know, it was still solid. So here we're going to see in a sequence of events I don't think I've ever seen before. So got the 4 right behind the 22, and you're going to see him pop into the inside here. Might be a little late. Who am I to judge? But this is what's interesting. The 22 reaches over, tries to grab his bumper. I have never seen that before. I don't really know what would happen if he did grab it. I don't know what the outcome is, but anyways, I picked up a spot, moved past Hoodie there, and looking to keep this progress going. And I have the opportunity right here as the 4 kind of clipped the corner, or the curb rather, and I'm able to get a run on the inside courtesy of a push from behind. So I stay out, let that cart get my draft because they help me, I'll help them. And then right here, 05, our pal Amber, who had a fantastic weekend. Just was awesome to see. She did a great job. Right here, you can see my lower gear that I was still on. Just still struggled to come out of that corner, and it cost me for the 000 here. He got to my inside, but I actually thought I was gonna be clear. And then all of a sudden, we got Hoodie here in the 22 coming to push him alongside. So I'm gonna give way. I'm not gonna fight that. But Hoodie pops to the inside here. I decided to fight that one, and I have the preferred line right there, and I'm able to maintain. This right here coming up out of this hairpin is what I was worried about ruining my race. I had no idea they had spun. So just something like that just can, you know, throw away a good result. But luckily it went well, and I was able to gain 3 spots from it. So I don't have a race to the finish line. I ended up finishing 13th, and super happy with that. Down here at the Bradfords, and they are hosting the chili cook-off. Should be a good time. Good way to end the night. And then CKNA in Newcastle cooked up a bunch of burgers and gave some beers out, so nice. We got the results of the chili cook-off, and Dad took 2nd place, tied actually for first. There was a tiebreaker, didn't go his way.
Yeah, my first Nationals podium. I'm really proud. You know, we just hope to come back next year and get a little better judging.
So that was a lot of fun. That was a cool event. Thank you guys.
It's you.